Hi ladies, how is that? Please tell me that this is working and that this is not glitching. Let me check on my laptop here. Let me know if you can see me. Post a comment. Now that I'm on my phone, I need you to post so that I can see what's going on. I can see who is here. Say hello again and we'll get restarted. Let me check that I'm live in the group. Yes, I am. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for your patience. Here we go. Everybody's coming back on. Perfect. Come back. Come on in, ladies. Come back. We are not done. We will go a little bit later than scheduled. Perfect. You can see me. You can hear me. No glitches. It's all good? Okay. Wonderful. So we are talking about your emotions, and we're talking about the importance of not ignoring your emotions. Yesterday you had some pretty strong emotions when it came to the foods that I was talking about, right? No bread, no coffee, no cheese. It just seemed like I was saying nothing, none of your favorite stuff anymore. Life is not going to be fun anymore. Life is not going to be enjoyable anymore. And there was quite a bit of panic and all of those emotions that came up for you. So let me just adjust my computer, ladies, 1 second, because I need to be able to see who's here. Okay, there we go. So I want you to raise your awareness that there's no such thing as a negative feeling. If you're feeling sad, it's just as important and it's just as valid as when you're feeling happy. If you're feeling angry, it's just as valid and it's just as important as when you're feeling elated. There's no such thing as a good feeling and a bad feeling. And that's one of your first steps to understanding emotional eating. We're going to talk more about that in the bonus class on, hang on, ladies. We're going to talk about that in the bonus class on day 10. So the more you start to understand that there's nothing wrong with your feelings, and the more you start to understand that there's no such thing as a good feeling and a bad feeling, this is your first step to starting to understand why you eat emotionally. Because if there's nothing wrong with me being angry, then why am I trying to comfort myself with food? If there's nothing wrong with me feeling sad, why am I trying to comfort myself with food? Because that's what you do. You feel like you can't control the situation. You feel like you can't even have a reaction to a situation sometimes. So the only thing that is within your control is to temporarily remove the discomfort of the situation by eating. So and this is also your critter brain loves that part, right? Because your critter brain wants you to always be happy, and it's always looking for ways to make sure you're always happy and satisfied, and make sure that pleasure is always at the forefront of everything that you're doing. So as soon as you start to feel something not pleasurable, your critter brain is going to say, right, what can you do? Here, have the cake. Here, have the chocolate. Yes, you deserve it. This has been a really tough time for you, and it's really hard, and you're feeling all these uncomfortable emotions, and you're really tired. Remember, the critter brain doesn't want you to be tired. It wants you to be it wants to conserve energy. It wants to make sure you're happy. It wants to make sure you're comfortable. So they feed each other. The situation and your critter brain and your emotional eating feed each other. So this is a process that takes time. I'm just trying to bring your attention to how it works. And then I want you to consider this, because after you told me how you feel about what I told you yesterday, the next thing that you told me was, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can live without these foods. I don't think I can how can I live without my bread and my cheese and my coffee? I can't. This is going to feel like deprivation. So I want to bring your attention to something really important. As women, we have so many roles to play, so many roles and responsibilities every single day. Most of you are mothers, wives, and you also have a career of some kind. You have a career, you have a business, you have multiple things. You maybe take care of elderly parents, maybe you volunteer in your community, you help your neighbor, you do a million things. You're taking your kids here and there and back and forth and staying up late. In the past year, you've also been teachers. You've maybe had to let go of help at home, so you're also cleaning and cooking. You do everything. You do everything. So you show up. You know how to show up professionally. You know how to show up on a personal level. You know how to show up as a mother. Why is it that when it comes to your health, suddenly you're powerless? Why is it when it comes to your health, it's suddenly, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't live like this. I can't do it. I don't know if I can do this. Do you ever, if your child comes to you, moms, if one of your children comes to you and they have a problem, or they're suffering in some way, or they're just having a difficulty in school, maybe they're having a problem with a certain subject, maybe they're being bullied at school, whatever it is, in your professional life, if you go to work and your boss says, right, you have this project, I need it on my desk by tomorrow morning. During COVID, when your kids had online school, yes, it was hard. Yes, we were going to kill each other. But did you say, I'm not going to do it? When your children need your help, when they need your support, when they need you to solve something for them, do you say, no, I don't think so. No, that's too hard. I'm not doing that. Do you tell your boss that? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not turning that in on time. No, I'm not doing that. You don't. Ever. So you have the skill set to do anything. You have the skill set to take care of yourself. You have the skill set to change your health and your life because you apply it in all the other areas of your life incredibly without even thinking. You know what to do. And even if you don't know what to do, you go and you figure it out and you do it. So you just, because of how we're programmed around our health, right? That when you get sick, there's nothing you can do about it except take a pill. As we get older, there's nothing we can do as we get older. That's just how it is. If you have an autoimmune, there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing that we have been programmed to work on is our image, is our weight, is to go on another diet. And because you've gone on so many diets over and over and over again, you have reinforced the fact that it's hard because diets are hard and diets don't last and diets are not sustainable. So you believe yourself now to be powerless around doing anything when it comes to your health. But the reality is you have the skill sets, you apply them across the board everywhere else in your life. For some reason, it just hasn't occurred to you to apply them to your health. The same tenacity, the same motivation, the same ambition, the same I'm gonna do it no matter what, that you apply everywhere else in your life, you need to start to apply that to your health because you know how to do it. You just haven't learned to apply it to your health. That's all. All right. Ladies who might be new, remember, tonight is the deadline to enter the draw to win one of the 2 free programs. Please email me your answers at questions@danadenawi.com. I'm going to pull the winner tomorrow out of a bowl, 2 winners out of the bowl. And if you haven't signed up yet, please sign up in any of the links that I've shared because the bonus class, which we're going to really get into all of this emotional stuff in the bonus class. If you haven't signed up for that class, you won't be able to watch that class because that class will not be in the group. That class is going to be on a Zoom call. You need the link for the Zoom call and you're going to get the link for the Zoom call in an email. I'm not sharing it in this group. And that class is going to be all about emotional eating and only about emotional eating. All right? Okay. So, your hardest working organ. Can anybody guess? Can you tell me? Post in the comments if you know, if you think you know what I'm going to talk about. Your hardest working organ and how to beat it. Yesterday we talked about all the foods that create illness, all the foods that are at the root cause of all of your symptoms. Today we're going to talk about your hardest working organ. And now that you're like, what are we going to eat? You've taken away all the food. I'm going to tell you what are the best foods to eat. So let me see. Nisreen, liver. What is that? Liver. Okay, you guys know it is the liver. So your liver is your hardest working organ. You might not think of it. We might think of the heart because it's really important. It pumps the blood. You might think of your lungs. And we know the liver is important. We know the kidneys are important. But do you think of it as the most important organ? Usually not, but it is. It is the absolute hardest working organ. It's got something like 500 jobs. 500 jobs. We just think of it as the thing that like filters, or if something is, or like it's the one that if we get hepatitis, that's the one that's involved in that. We don't think of it as the hardest working organ with 500 different jobs, but it is. So given now that you understand to what degree you're exposed to toxins on a daily basis, your liver is your hardest working organ. It's also one of your biggest detox organs. So all of those triggers I talked about yesterday, whether food triggers or non-food triggers, they all have to pass through your liver. In case you don't know where your liver is, it's right here under, like here's your last rib bone, your rib cage right here. After that, there's like a space. This is where your liver is, right here. If you put your hand right there, that's where your liver is. It's a pretty big organ. That's where your liver is. So everything has to pass through the liver. Every single trigger I talked about yesterday. The wheat, the dairy, the sugar, the alcohol, the caffeine, the soy, the excess protein, the junk food, all the beauty products, all those chemicals in your beauty products, all the medication, all of that has to be filtered by your liver. So it has to do so much work constantly, day in, out, day in, day out, day in, day out. And it's been working for you since before you were born, since it was formed in you in your mother's womb. So you can imagine if you were to think, let's say most of us are what, in our late 40s, between 40 and 50, middle age, our livers have been working for at least 40 years, 45 years, filtering every single day all of those toxins. At some point, your liver gets tired. And it's not necessarily, because one of you told me, but I did a liver function test and my liver came out fine, even though I have all of these other symptoms. When your liver is tired, when it hasn't quite reached a point where the enzymes are not functioning or it's going to show up on a test, it gets overburdened and it simply can't keep up with everything that's coming in. What's coming in is so fast, it doesn't have time to filter little by little and it gets stuck. And that's when you start to see all of the symptoms. That's when it starts to function really slowly and you start to feel all of the symptoms that we talked about yesterday. All of them. The fatigue, the constipation or diarrhea, the skin issues, the autoimmune, because your liver is involved in actually also filtering out T3 and T4. For those of you who have a thyroid issue, you start to see all of that. It's an overburdened liver. We need to give it a break. All right? So the other really important thing about the liver, remember I talked about insulin and insulin resistance and how your body needs glucose as its source of energy. Your cells, you have 100 trillion cells in your body, something like that. They feed on glucose, the natural sugar from fruits. But we are giving them the artificial sugar from processed wheat, processed food, dairy, cheeses, junk, all of that. And when then insulin is responsible for moving sugar from your bloodstream into the cells. That's what insulin's job is. But the cells don't want the fake sugar. They want the pure glucose from fruits. So the more you do this, and think about how many years you've been doing this, this is how then insulin can't do its job anymore. One of the liver's 500 jobs is to store glucose. Like you have a backup of glucose, you're supposed to have a backup of glucose, and it's the liver's job to store this backup. So in theory, because you're supposed to be consuming glucose on a regular basis. So the body uses it and the liver takes some as backup in case there's one day you don't have enough, in case there's one day you forget to eat your fruits, in case there's one day you use too much and you need some extra. The liver stores extra glucose. When you don't eat enough glucose, so you're not eating enough fruits because somebody told you that fruits make you fat, so you remove all fruits from your daily eating plan, you're not getting glucose. And actually some veggies also have some glucose. So chances are also if you're not eating fruits and vegetables, what are you eating? You're probably eating all the processed foods, you're probably eating a lot of fat, you're probably eating a lot of protein, none of which have glucose. And when you eat too much fat, too much protein, too much processed food, this is when you get something called non-alcoholic fatty liver. So it doesn't just happen from eating fat, it happens from eating all the processed sugars also. So, and that's like, everything that turns into sugar, so everything that's made from wheat, but also brown sugar, artificial sugars, junk food, pasta, bread, cakes, cookies, all of that. So you don't have enough of the glucose that your body needs for energy, and your liver is too tired trying to process this other stuff that isn't really fuel. So that's one part of the problem. Now remember what we talked about in terms of your stress hormone, cortisol. So cortisol is what? It helps to put out the fires in your body. Cortisol jumps in when there's a problem. So it helps you to deal with your day-to-day stress, that fight or flight situation. But also, when there's something happening internally and the body's not quite balanced, the body's super smart. It has all the systems work together and all the systems help each other. So when the liver is struggling, it's not getting enough glucose for your regular functions and it doesn't have enough backup. It's dried, it's parched, it doesn't have glucose. Who has to jump in to save the day? Because it's its job to save the day, your cortisol. Cortisol's job is to jump in whenever something is imbalanced in the body. So you're not consuming enough glucose, your body doesn't have enough fuel, the liver doesn't have any backup, the liver is struggling because it doesn't have backup. So what happens? Cortisol is going to come save the day, cortisol and adrenaline, because you need some source of energy. So they pump cortisol, your adrenal glands, remember your adrenal glands are right back here, they pump more cortisol, they pump more adrenaline to use that as energy because you're not getting it from glucose and your liver doesn't have a backup. And then when that happens, because the liver still has to process everything. Everything has to go through the liver, even your internal processes and all of your hormones. So on top of the load that the liver has because it doesn't have enough fuel and it's processing all of the processed food that you're eating, it has to process this excess cortisol and adrenaline also that now your body's pumping out in response to this emergency situation. Can you see how this is a recipe for disaster? Let me know if this is making sense to you, ladies. Can you just say, yes, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. Just so I know. So as you're letting me know, this extra surge of adrenaline and cortisol, this is corrosive. And the liver has to process this. And this corrodes the liver. And this is also why then you're tired all the time. Remember, we talked about adrenal fatigue. So part of why you get adrenal fatigue is, yes, you have stressful situations, external triggers, but internally your body is stressed and the body has to pump extra cortisol, extra adrenaline, which makes you, remember, every time it pumps, it's the equivalent of you being chased by a tiger. So you become exhausted and you don't have the fuel to help give you energy, and your body is literally being chased by a lion 17 times a day. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, it makes sense. Perfect. Okay, so long term then, the liver slows down. It can't process the toxins properly. It can't process all the pathogens, all the bacteria, all the heavy metals, everything that enters your body. It can't do it anymore. It can't do it efficiently anymore. Basically, it can't protect you anymore. And on another note, which I know this is going to be very important to you ladies, you can't lose weight. If all of this is happening, you can't lose weight. When your liver is overloaded with toxins and pathogens and viruses and all the chemicals from your makeup, and there isn't enough glucose, and the body's pumping cortisol and it's pumping adrenaline, which are corrosive, you can't lose weight. And you will not be able to lose weight as long as your liver is overloaded. And then you get all the symptoms we talked about: acne, skin issues, brain fog, diabetes, constipation, diarrhea, fatigue, gallstones, right? Because your liver and your gallbladder are connected. You get heart palpitations when there's excess cortisol and excess adrenaline, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, inflammation, IBS, body pain, jaundice, and then God forbid, if the liver really, really suffers, liver cancer. All right? All of those. And this is why when I was saying how some women who are in their 20s and some women who are in their 60s, they're out of the perimenopause and menopause phase, have the same symptoms, because we all have a liver. And even if you're out of perimenopause and menopause and you shouldn't be having night sweats, you shouldn't be having hot flashes, you still get them, because believe it or not, a night sweat is a sign of an overloaded, congested liver. It's not just a sign of perimenopause or menopause, right? Okay, and that's why you have kids. You have ladies in their 20s, and you have people of all ages showing the same symptoms, because everybody's eating the wrong food. Everybody's feeding their body processed stuff. Nobody's getting enough sugar, natural sugars, because somewhere along the line, somebody decided that fruits are bad, even though fruits are the most natural food on the planet, okay? So, let me see what I want to talk about next. Okay, so food. What are we going to eat? Now that we know the stuff that doesn't work, let's talk about the stuff that we need to be consuming, all right? When we're looking at any of these symptoms, and when we're looking at an overloaded liver, that's not going to show up on a test, right? It's just, we know because of the symptoms. We know because the body works holistically. If you have these symptoms, we know that your liver is struggling. So we have to look at two components here, two pieces, toxicity and deficiency. So we know where the toxicity comes from. We established that yesterday. The toxicity comes from all the food triggers and non-food triggers that we talked about. Great. So you're going to remove them. But there's also deficiencies. So like I said, when there's not enough glucose, that's a deficiency. So it's not actually enough just to remove the toxicity. You have to replenish the deficiency. And if you are used to eating processed foods, bread, cheese, coffee, tea, milk, sugar, pasta, all of the cooked foods, junk food, sodas, your body's deficient. Even if you're not currently feeling symptoms, and we go for a long time without feeling symptoms, right? Because when in our 20s, our livers are stronger. They can process all things. We might not feel all of these symptoms early on. It's only towards middle age that the liver starts to get tired. So you might not realize that you're actually not deficient in anything. But if you're not eating the list of foods I'm going to give you now, you are actually deficient. So great, we've got rid of the toxins. We have to replace the deficiency. And it's really hard for you it's challenging for all of us. And when I first learned this and understood this, here's why it was a challenge. Because what is it that we consider food these days? When I say food, what comes to mind? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Mostly it's anything you buy at the supermarket, right? Like, think of your shopping cart when you're at the supermarket. Milk cartons, maybe juice cartons, cartons of eggs, bags of bread, bags of pasta, bags of rice, corn oil, sunflower oil. You know, you order in on the weekend, you order pizza, you order burgers, you order whatever, takeout, like that, in your mind, that's food. But if you think about it, think about the supermarket. Food comes in packages. Most food that we buy comes in packages. And the food that sits in these packages has been sitting on a supermarket shelf. Well, you don't actually know how long it's been sitting, but it could be on that shelf for a few weeks before you actually buy it. And then you don't even know how long it's been in storage before they put it on the shelf for a few weeks before you buy it. All right? And think about how many foods are fresh. If you just visualize your favorite supermarket right now, what percentage of the supermarket is fresh food and what percentage of the supermarket is all the packaged stuff? And how much of the packaged stuff is actually food that has been created into something and put into a box for you to buy? Pasta, ready-made meals. I mean, I'm noticing now ads and noticing in supermarkets ready-made like fried chicken, different flavors, ready-made meats, ready-made rolls, ready-made pizzas, ready-made everything. Chips, cereals, cookies, cheese, all the oils, canned food like beans, milk, juices, everything. Everything. Healthy bars, healthy cereals, it all comes in a package. Basically, convenience foods. And you might be aware of this or you might not, but we have been programmed in a very subtle way to move away from fresh produce and move towards convenience. What does that mean? Marketing and all the food companies and all the brands, they're appealing to your sense of being a busy mom. A busy mom and a busy professional. You just don't have time to cook. You don't have time to cook. You don't have time to be in the kitchen. You're busy. And as a modern day woman, you have more important things to do and more important things to think about than to spend any time in the kitchen. You have evolved out of, having to be a woman who spends time in the kitchen. You're a professional woman, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you work in marketing, you work in communications, you're a professor, and you have a family, and you have kids. You don't have time for the kitchen. You don't have time to do this. And you know what? Cooking can be expensive also. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you foods that are really easy to make and don't take a lot of time. So you don't have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen. And we buy into that because we are very busy. That's true. We're busy. We have so many responsibilities. We have so many more roles now in modern day times than we did before. So many more responsibilities to fulfill. So we have been very subtly programmed, tricked, conned, whatever word you want to use, that we don't have the skills to be in the kitchen. Although we do. I was definitely somebody who was like, oh, I don't want to be in the kitchen. I don't want to cook. Why do I need to learn to cook? Like, that's not something I ever need to do. But as a result, we have lost one of the most important skills as humans, which is cooking and preparing healthy food from scratch. And at what cost? We're paying for it now. We're paying for it. We didn't pay attention. We gave in to the advertising that we're too smart and too busy to cook. Here, give me whatever is quickest and easiest. And now we're paying the price for it. Let me also ask you another question. How many commercials have you seen on TV for lettuce? Do you see anything? Do you see any commercials for lettuce on TV? Or apples? Or cucumbers? How many commercials do you see on TV for milk, juices, cheese, the ready-made meals, the processed oils, the chips, the sodas, the coffee? How many do you see on TV? The flavored yogurt, the Maggie cubes, right? All the juices, all the sodas, Pepsi, Coke, all of it. Now Ramadan is coming. Really pay attention what they're going to market on TV. Does that make you think? At the same time, they're telling you you're too busy, you're too cool, you're too smart to be in the kitchen. You're not going to see ads for real food. You're going to see ads for food-like substances, not real food. The other thing to think about is this, that there's all this background programming happening, all right? And then think about this. When I told you yesterday that coffee needs to go, bread needs to go, cheese needs to go, all of that. Panic, right? You panicked. But let's say I come now and tell you, actually, you know what? They're fine. Keep the bread, keep the cheese. Here's what I want you to actually stop eating. I want you to stop eating cucumbers, and I want you to stop eating lettuce, and I want you to stop eating tomatoes. What's the feeling that you have now? Are you worried at all that you're not going to have cucumbers ever again? Or you're not going to have lettuce ever again? Is your critter brain panicking like yesterday? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if I'm going to say right. Nermin, Yara, Nashwa, Roba, no more cucumbers, no more lettuce, no more tomatoes. Are you freaking out? Nashwa says great. Nisreen says yes. Sandra says yay, no problem, right? Everybody says no. And you know why? Because these foods aren't addictive. Oranges aren't addictive, apples aren't addictive, cucumbers aren't addictive, and they're not addictive because they haven't had any addictive substances added to them. The food manufacturers, they know this and they play on this, right? Wheat and pasta come from sugar. Sugar is highly addictive. The processed sugar is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. So when a cocaine addict takes a hit of cocaine, it lights up one pleasure center in his brain. When you eat your bread, when you eat your pasta, when you eat your cake, that's the white toxic sugar, that lights up 8 pleasure centers in your brain. Boom, 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 boom. 8 pleasure centers. That's an addiction. And you're addicted without knowing it. And then add on top of it the processed foods where they literally add chemicals to keep you coming back for more. Food flavorings, special additives. That's why when I tell you it's somebody who loves pizza or somebody who loves McDonald's and has a really hard time giving it up. The junk food especially. All bread is turns into sugar. That's why it's highly addictive. Anything that comes from flour is highly addictive for that reason. That's why you panic. It's like, just imagine a cocaine. When I said no more bread and no more cheese, cheese is also very addictive, by the way. And you don't know it, right? You don't know it. So, and this is why we're suffering. And this is why the liver is suffering. Not sure. Why should I lose 8? That's like, I haven't heard that one before. Why should I lose 8 centers of pleasure, Yadena? Because you can replace the pleasure, right? You can replace it. It doesn't have to be toxic pleasure. You're going to replace it with the foods that make you feel good and make you feel energetic and improve your mood. And that is what you're going to want to hang on to. All right? Okay. So this is where then we have to look at the foods that heal. You need to move away from the masses, move away from the marketing, move away from the crap, and go back to nature. Go back to filling up that deficiency that you have. So we know wheat, gluten, dairy, sugar, processed oils, eggs, animal protein, soy, all the stuff we talked about yesterday. So here's what you eat instead. I'm going to give you a list of foods that you want to be eating regularly. And there's no limit on the intake of these. There's never a limit on fruits and vegetables. Get this concept out of your mind. Whoever told you that you need to limit fruits and vegetables doesn't know what they're talking about, because fruits and vegetables are the most absolute healing foods in the world. The reason everybody is sick, the reason everybody is suffering is because they're not eating enough fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to give you this list. On day 8, I'm going to give you a simplified actual plan. For now, I'm just going to give you a general list of the most potent fruits and vegetables, right? You might want to write these down. Apples, asparagus, bananas, berries, all berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, all berries, celery, cilantro, all the cruciferous vegetables, kale, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, arugula, watercress, you name it, cucumbers, dates, all the leafy greens, lemons, limes, oranges, mangoes. Don't let anybody tell you that a mango makes you fat and a mango should not be eaten and a mango raises blood sugar. Mangoes are one of the most amazing fruits in the world. Mushrooms, potatoes, same thing goes for potatoes. Raw honey, zucchini, ginger, bell peppers. What am I missing? Pineapples, all of them. Basically every single fruit and vegetable. Easy, right? Super easy. Every single fruit and vegetable. Rotate them, have as many as you want every single day. Whichever way you want, have as many as you want. Tell me, how many of these are you currently having daily? Like every single day you're eating a whole bunch of these. That's also today's question, by the way. Your last question for the competition. How many of these fruits and vegetables are you having every day? Email your answer to questions@denadanawi.com. Let me know. Grapes, of course. Onions, of course. Tomatoes, of course. Dried fruits. So dried fruits are, it depends. You want to choose naturally dried fruits and ones that don't have additives, ones that don't have added sugars. You want mostly fresh. A little bit of dried, mostly fresh. Ruba, me, a lot. That's amazing. Great. Nashwa, dates and banana. Warda's done my programs. Warda has been there. She's done that. All right, ladies. I did say mushrooms, potatoes. I mean, everything when you go into your supermarket and everything you see in the produce section, with the exception of corn. So no corn. What else is in there? No corn. That's it. Artichokes, celery, all the greens, every single leafy green, every single herb, all the fruits, all the vegetables, all of it. All of it. Dried fruits like figs and raisins, only if they are, not the traditional ones, and not all the conventional ones that you're going to see sold for Ramadan especially. All of those are full of sugar and they're full of preservatives. So in Cairo, you can get pure natural dried fruits from Minnie's Dried Fruits. Find her on Facebook, Minnie's Dried Fruits. All right. Potatoes aren't carbs. Here's the thing. All fruits and vegetables every single fruit and vegetable that I've just mentioned are carbs. Every single fruit and every single vegetable are the original natural carbohydrates. What we want to remove are the processed fake carbohydrates. So yeah, you want to go on a super high carb plan. Natural carbs. Potatoes are carbs. Kale is a carb. Cucumbers are carbs. Berries are carbs. Artichokes are carbs. All of these are carbs. All of them. What's the problem with corn? Corn is a genetically modified grain. So it's not actually a vegetable, it's a grain. It's genetically modified, sort of like wheat. So it's created in a lab, excuse me. And it's very difficult to digest. If you've ever eaten corn, pay attention the next day when you go to the bathroom, you find little corn, if you've ever paid attention, corn like just whole in your poop. It's very hard to digest and it's genetically modified, so it's not natural. Sweet potatoes, yes. Sweet potatoes, like everything, every single fruit and vegetable. There isn't a single one that's out, ladies. Not a single one. Neshra, where can we get pure honey in Egypt? Oh, I will tell you. Lots of places. I will put a list. All right, ladies, because we are, let's get moving here. I need you to close your eyes. All of you close your eyes, please. Take a step back and close your eyes. And we're going to do a little exercise together. All right? Close your eyes and picture this. If you followed what I showed you on day 1, go back to day 1. Think about what I said on day 1. So if you go back to day 1 and you truly begin believing that you have the power to take back your health, and truly believe that just because everyone has the same symptoms as you doesn't mean it's normal. So really anchor in that belief that I talked about on day 1, that you have the power to take back your health. And then you did what I showed you on day 2, which is really understand your hormones once and for all. They're not just something hypothetical that you refer to every once in a while. You really understand what your hormones are. You really become an expert on which hormones are imbalanced for you. And you become very conscious and very tuned in to your symptoms and which symptoms correlate with which hormonal imbalance. And then you followed what I showed you yesterday, day 3. And you remove all those trigger foods. All the things that trigger hormonal imbalances, the food triggers as well as the non-food triggers. And then you follow what I'm talking to you about today so far. And you start to eat all the incredibly amazing healing and rebalancing foods, and you eat them every single day. So you go back to day 1 and you truly believe that you have the power to take back your health. And then you do what I showed you on day 2 and you understand your hormones like an expert and you understand which hormones are imbalanced for you and you're very tuned in to your symptoms. And then you go and remove all the triggers, the food triggers and the non-food triggers. And then you come in and you add all the incredibly healing, balancing, regenerating foods. Do you think you could be successful if you do all of that? If you go back and follow everything I've been teaching you since day 1, do you think you could be successful? Do you think you can reach your health goals? Do you think you can build your self-confidence and your power around your health? Keep your eyes closed as you think. Keep your eyes closed. I'm hoping you're saying yes in your head, all right? So what do you see yourself doing? You're following everything I've talked about. Are you waking up with energy, like incredible energy, and starting your day without a headache, starting your day completely pain-free? There's no aches and pains when you wake up. Do you wake up and you're smiling and you slept deeply and you slept soundly? Is all the bloating gone? Your stomach feels flat and you can breathe easily and you can button your buttons because you're not bloated anymore? Are you happy to be in the kitchen, cooking healthy meals for you and your family? Do you see yourself waking up in the morning and having a smoothie instead of coffee? Do you see yourself going to your closet, opening it up, and taking out your favorite dress and it fits again? Can you actually see that version of you that's missing? Can you see that this can happen for you? This is the next step for you. Can you see that? Open your eyes. Open your eyes, and if you can see all of that, type yes. Type yes if you can see yourself waking up happy, waking up with energy, waking up not dreading your day, waking up not needing your coffee, waking up hugging your kids instead of feeling like you want to kill them, going to work and feeling calm and focused, coming back from work and still feeling calm and focused and not irritable and not anxious, going to bed at night and having a deep, deep sleep. You wake up and you realize you haven't even moved in your bed, and you wake up before your alarm clock even goes off. Yes, yes, yes. Muna, yes, but I'll miss some things. You don't know that. You don't know that you're going to miss anything. You're assuming based on where you are right now. You're guessing, but you don't know that you're going to miss them. You haven't tried it yet. Yes, yes, it's not impossible. Yes, yes, Ruba, I hope. I hope, when you say I hope, that invites the possibility of failure in. Make it a definite response, Ruba. Yes. Inji, yes, how can we do all this with the Ramadan temptation and the sugar craving we get after fasting? I have a solution for you, and I'm going to talk about it. Farah, I want to say yes, but I'm just worried that my mind will prevent me from it. Farah, your mind has already prevented you. Your mind, your critter brain is still the one in power. Override it, Farah, and make a decision. Yes, with dedication, yes. Oh, it takes work. I'm not saying this is going to be easy. I guess yes, but it's not easy. No, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's simple. So there's a difference. And it's worth it. More importantly, it's worth it. And nothing that's worth it in life is ever easy. Yes. Huwaida, what about the protein? Where can I get it from? I didn't say you have to be vegan. I said we have to reduce, maybe eliminate for a while. I never said you have to be 100% vegan for the rest of your life. All right, ladies. So I'm getting the feeling like you're all very excited. How many of you are excited by what you saw for yourself right now when you had your eyes closed? How many of you are like, okay, right, what do I do now? Tell me, what do I do now? Inji, I saw my face radiating and my hair growing and shining while I closed my eyes. Oh, that's perfect. Mona, the social element of sharing common foods. Well, how do you know you're still going to want to do that? I'm not saying you won't, but don't decide before you've even tried, right? Okay, so I know that a lot of you here, most of you here have been trying so many different plans. Like me, like I did Atkins, I did calorie counting, I did portion control, I did South Beach. I went back and did Atkins, and then I did South Beach again, and then I did calorie counting again, and I went to this nutritionist and then this nutritionist. Like, that's all I did for 20 years of my life. So I know that probably a lot of you have also probably been doing something similar, trying a lot of different plans, following a lot of conflicting advice, and you're not really clear on what you're doing because the only advice or the only goal we ever had was to lose weight. Our only goal ever was just get on the scale and see that number. That's it. But you can't really, now that you know that health is a goal, health is your goal at this point. No more dieting. We're done with dieting. We're smarter than that. But you need to see where you're going, right? You need to see the end goal. And so if all we wanted to see before, all we ever focused on before was a number on a scale, you can see how that's really limiting when it comes to your health. But right now what you did is you saw your potential. And none of you even said anything about a scale, actually. You started to visualize your potential, you started to visualize you. Visualize you healed. Not just any you, but you healed. And here's the deal. As much as I would love to, I can't show you everything in these classes so that you can overcome emotional eating, get rid of constant fatigue, get rid of acid reflux, get rid of acne, get over your sugar cravings, sleep better, have better moods, wake up with the incredible energy, wake up happy, get rid of night sweats, stop having constipation, or heal your autoimmune, right? And learn how to do all this while still having a life. You still have to have a life. Some of my clients that I've been working with I've been working with them for 3+ years, and they're still tweaking and adapting and learning and up-leveling their health on a daily basis. So there's no such thing as a quick fix. This is a long, lifelong journey. I mean, I had to go back to my health coach when things got crazy with my hormones. I had to go back to a health coach. I have a health coach, and I touch base with her all the time. I have a business coach because, I became a health coach, but I didn't know how to become a business. I didn't know how to run a business when I became a health coach. I have a mindset coach. Right now, I also have a video coach, because you can't get to where you want when you have that vision of yourself. You can't truly get to it by yourself. And I definitely would not be standing here today, being able to talk to you on video, being able to talk to you about my experiences, being able to transform thousands of women's lives if I had just decided that I can do this by myself. I can teach myself this. And I know that you want to have, you have big goals and you have big dreams for your life and your health. We all do. But no matter what your goals are, and no matter what level you want to get at, no matter what the vision is, they're all different, they're all worthy. But the truth is, all those visions that you just had right now, you don't quite have the skills yet to get you there. Because if you did, you'd already be there. We wouldn't be having this exercise. You wouldn't be having this vision of yourself, right? You'd already be healed. You wouldn't have any of the symptoms. You would wake up with energy. You would be free of pain. You wouldn't have the stubborn weight. You wouldn't have the night sweats, none of it. But you aren't. So in order to develop these skills, in order to get to that vision that you just saw of yourself, that's going to take repetition, that's going to take immersion, because it's not a diet. A diet is just a piece of paper, you go and follow it and it's over. This requires immersion. This requires direction. This requires somebody who's already been there, helping you, guiding you, somebody who knows what works and what doesn't work, and somebody who's still testing it out. I'm always a work in progress. It's not about perfection. It's about being a work in progress. So if it's okay with you, ladies, I want to take your permission. So please type yes in the comments if I have your permission to talk to you about my program. Type yes, and if I have your permission, I will go ahead and share, because I know that so many of you are ready to take this journey. Let me know if I have your permission to talk about the Hormone Reset program. There's a lot of questions and comments, ladies, here. I will go back after the class and I will answer every single one, I promise. Nisreen, yes. Nashwa, yes. Hanan, yes. Shireen, yes. Perfect, ladies. So I would like to officially invite all of you to join my Hormone Reset Program Level 1. My Hormone Reset Program Level 1, there's 3 levels actually to my Hormone Reset Program. There's Level 1, there's Level 2, and there's Level 3, which is a mastermind. You have to go through Level 1 and Level 2 to get to Level 3. You can't skip. This is my 10-week program for resetting and healing and reversing your symptoms from the inside out, naturally, using food, using nutrition, using lifestyle, using mindset, using self-care, using self-care and stress relieving techniques. So I was where you are right now. So I created this program with you in mind because I know exactly where you are right now. So I give you the structure, which is so key. And it's not just about having an eating plan. Like I said, actually the eating plan is the smallest part of this program. We start with your big vision. We put into place daily self-care, because as women, you're not really taking good care of yourselves. You're prioritizing everybody else around you, and you're at the bottom of your list. We're going to prioritize daily self-care. We're going to put routines into place and daily schedules into place to optimize your life. Your health and your life is not just about what you eat. It's part of it, but it's not just about that. Like I said, it's not easy. There is a learning curve to this, but it's simple. So I have simplified the process as much as possible, taken out the complexity, taken out the confusion, taken out the overwhelm that you potentially have been experiencing with so many other food theories, taken all of that out and just giving you what you really need to know by now. This is all you need to know from now on. Get rid of everything else, clean slate. Here's what you need to know to reverse your symptoms and to be healthy and disease-free, God willing, for the future, so that it's sustainable and it becomes a lifestyle. And obviously you can't do this without support. None of us can do and create such a transformation without support. So I'm literally there with you for the 10 weeks every single day. What you've seen me do here, multiply that by 100. I'm with you every single day on the group. And I show you how to make it sustainable. And I show you literally how to create the path to success. Because you're here and you all told me from day one, and you all told me, all of you that I've been also, before we started the class, those of you I was messaging in private on Facebook Messenger, you all told me you want more energy. You want more energy. You don't want to be tired. You want to wake up happy. You want to lose weight. You want to get rid of the stomach aches. You want to get rid of the period cramps. You want to get rid of the night sweats. You want to get rid of your anxiety. You told me. You all told me that. But if you're stopping yourself because you're thinking right now, I think I need to overcome something first, or I need to be ready. I need to be ready before I can take action. I need to be ready before I can do what Den is telling me I need to do. But you know what? The only way to overcome whatever it is going on for you, whatever discomfort you have right now, it's not to sit and wait until you're ready, because you're never going to be ready. Let's be also very clear about that. The only way to overcome anything is to actually do it. It's not about sitting and thinking and overthinking and spinning your wheels. It's about taking the action. And like I said on day one, 2020 gave us the clarity on what was working in our lives, what wasn't working in our lives. 2021 is about taking the action. 2020 was about knowing better. 2021 is about doing better, because we don't have time. We don't have time. We've seen it. We've seen loved ones suffer. We've seen loved ones pass away. We've seen, the loved ones of friends. And who doesn't know somebody who has been affected this past year? We don't have time. Why would you waste one more day sitting with your discomfort, living with your pain, when you know that you don't have to? 100%, there's a solution. And you've shown me how committed you are. You've shown me, you're showing up here every single day, but I can only do so much in a workshop. You're here and you're committed, but there's a whole other level of commitment, a whole other level. When you join the Hormone Reset Program, level 1, I'm going to be able to give you personalized support. When you're in my group and I'm communicating with you one-on-one every single day, I'm going to be able to support you and guide you one-on-one every single day, except the weekends. 5 days a week, except the weekends. And as much as I would love to, I can't give everybody that kind of customized support here, right? I don't know anything about you. I know a lot about you. I know a lot more about each one of you than I've ever known before, but I don't know exactly your individual goals, which is what I'm going to get to know in the program. I don't know your vision. I don't know your particular habits. I don't know your particular fears or your weaknesses, or what you've tried, what you haven't tried, what worked, what didn't work, why did it work, why didn't it work. I don't know which one of you, how many of you are married, how many of you have kids, how many of you have kids and you work. I don't know that. So if you want my eyes and my ears on your health for 10 weeks, then this is what happens in the Hormone Reset Program. And like I said, it's about taking action. There's no delay, there's no hesitation, there's no second guessing, there's no wasting time, there's no wasting energy, because we don't have time. It's got to be now. And there's no more excuses. We have used up every single excuse in our lives, ladies, that we could possibly use across the board in our personal lives, in our professional lives. We have made excuse after excuse after excuse as to why we can't do something. That time is up. Time is up. No excuses. So what I've done in these past 4 days, I've given you a glimpse of what I do in my programs. I've shared everything you need to know, as much as I can. Everything, all the major building blocks that you need to transform your health. But if you want to go deep and you want that transformation, you need the guidance and you need the daily support and you need the accountability. Accountability is huge. And that's what you get in the program. 10 weeks of having my eyes and ears on you. And to answer the Ramadan question, the program starts April 4th. So because we are going into Ramadan, you actually get an extra 4 weeks. So the program is 14 weeks instead of 10 weeks, where I help you get through Ramadan. I help you have a healthier Ramadan. I am going to give you every 2 weeks in the program, you get a module about something specific related to your health. And on Saturday, I'm going to walk you through exactly every single module, the topics and how that works. But you get modules that you need to go and study. You get your meal plans. You do go through, I take you through a very specific liver cleanse. But all of that, because Ramadan is happening now, the liver cleanse will happen after Ramadan. During Ramadan, I'm going to give you a very simplified meal plan that, yes, it has protein and it has everything because it's Ramadan. You don't need to do a tough cleanse during Ramadan, but I'm going to show you how to have a Ramadan where you eliminate your cravings, where you don't have bloating, where you don't wake up tired, where you're not uncomfortable. You can actually have a Ramadan where you are energetic and functioning normally. So actually this group, the ladies who are going to join this round of the Hormone Reset program, are pretty lucky because this doesn't happen in other rounds. Ramadan only happens once a year. So the other rounds are 10 weeks. This round is 14 weeks. You get a bonus 4 weeks for Ramadan. You get the weekly meal plans. We go, like I said, a very specific targeted liver cleanse. I teach you everything about emotional health. I didn't even really, I've like just sort of touched upon emotional health during this class, but emotional health is a big part of what we do in the Hormone Reset program. Actually, we work on your emotional health more than we work on the nutrition, because honestly, once I teach you the nutrition, even though right now it seems impossible, it's actually the easiest part of the program. And you're going to hear from my clients tomorrow and Friday. The nutrition part, you learn quickly, and yeah, there's some glitches along the way as you learn to create the new habits, as you learn the new recipes, but that part happens relatively quick. It's getting to your emotional root that takes time and takes more work. And that's why this program is not just a plan. It's not just a diet plan. It's not just, here's a piece of paper, go and follow it. We go deep. So I've barely talked about the emotional pieces during this workshop. What do? I show you how to journal. I show you how to create a goal to focus on for yourself. I show you how to clean your face naturally and get rid of the products. We learn how to track your cycle. We learn how to track your symptoms. We learn how to, time management is so key. I show you how to manage your time. I show you how to declutter and get organized. In level 2, we go into supplements and herbs and adaptogens. We talk about stress relieving techniques. We think about your life and your future and how you see yourself moving forward. Level 3, we don't even talk about food in level 3. Level 3, the ladies have reached such a level of awareness and have raised their level of consciousness to such a degree that our coaching calls, when we have a coaching call every other week, it's about creating a business for themselves. It's about their relationships, and it's about becoming the next version of herself. So this is not a nutritional program. This is a mind, body, and soul experience. And I said what starts April 4th, like I said, you can start to sign up for it today. The first 5 ladies who sign up, on top of all the group work that you're going to get, you also get a 1-hour one-on-one call with me. So this is only for the first 5 ladies who sign up. This is a group program. You are going to be with other women. Every single week we have a group coaching call where I teach you something. You have a chance to ask all of your questions. I'm in the group every single day anyway, answering all of your questions. But on top of all of that, the first 5 women who sign up also get a one-on-one call with me. And trust me, the one-on-one call that you have with me is not going to be about food. We deal with food pretty quickly. I'm not just a health coach, I'm also a transformational coach. So in your one-on-one call, we can talk about your relationship, we can talk about your professional issues, we can talk about your family issues, we can talk about anything. I can help you transform any area of your life. So that is an incredible added bonus, because in level 1, there is no one-on-one time with me. Level 2, all the ladies in level 2 get 2 calls with me. Level 3, they get a one-on-one call with me every single month. So this is a huge bonus. If you're ready to sign up, you want to be one of the first 5, because you're going to get that 1 hour one-on call with me. All right. Any questions, ladies? We start April 4th. I'm going to share the link as soon as we finish this call. There is a sign up link. The sign up is automatically online, super easy, super simple. The program costs $497. You can either pay in full, or you can make 2 payments of $298 or 4 payments of $150. We start April 4th. We start with module 1 during that week, and then I give you the Ramadan meal plan. And then once Ramadan is finished, we start with module 2, and we start with the liver cleanse. So you are not going to start with something too difficult starting April 4th. You're going to ease your way. And that's just your luck that the program happened to coincide with Ramadan. I will show you how to eat for Ramadan. I have a very specific meal plan for Fitar, for Suhoor, for your snacks. It is flexible. The Ramadan meal plan is flexible. So meaning, if you don't want to give up your coffee yet, you don't have to. Meaning, if there's a family gathering and you want to go and have a dessert, you can. Because I'm going to show you what to do in between those days, so that when you go and have dessert, when you go and have something that is not on the plan, you're going to be fine. When we get to the liver cleanse though, once Ramadan is over, that's the cleanse where you have to follow the plan exactly. So you're sort of going to ease yourself into the process because you happened to fall into the Ramadan round. You're going to ease yourself during Ramadan. Once Ramadan and Eid obviously are over, we are going to go straight into the liver cleanse. Those of you who don't observe Ramadan and would like to join us, you can still, I'll have a separate meal plan for you, a general clean eating plan that is not related to Ramadan. Again, you'll follow that plan until Ramadan has passed, and then we will all follow the liver cleanse together. All right? Anybody have questions for me at all? This program is for all of you ladies, because all of you have said you have night sweats, you have hot flashes, resistant weight, you have no energy, you're always exhausted, you're always irritable, you're always cranky, you have horrible cravings, you have headaches, you have visions of yourself, gorgeous, glowing skin. You want to boost your sex drive, ladies? We need to boost our sex drives. You need to stabilize. If you have an autoimmune, you don't have to live with any of those, right? But you have to make the decision to make the change. And Farah, yes, you're never ready. You're never, in any time you want to make a change in your life, you're never going to be ready. You need to just do it. Do it, and everything else will fall into place, literally. So I'm going to share the link now that we're done. Thank you so much, ladies, for your patience today. I know that we have gone over the time by 30 minutes, so I really do appreciate your patience with the technical glitches. I'm going to post the link. Tomorrow, I'm going to share the 2 winners. So 2 of you are going to get this program for free. And the deadline to go into the draw is tonight. So go ahead and answer the question was, how many of these fruits and vegetables do you eat every day? Send your answer to questions@danadenawi.com. Make sure you've answered the questions for the first 4 days and you've invited a friend. That's how you get to go into the draw. Not if you've done one or the other. All right? And that's it for today, ladies. I'll share more details in the next few days. Tomorrow, you're going to hear from my clients. So my clients who were exactly where you are 6 months ago, the 5 ladies who are going to come talk to you in the next 2 days, they've all just completed level 2. So 2 of them are going to come talk to you tomorrow. 3 of them are going to come talk to you on Friday. They were exactly where you are because they did level 2. So 6 months ago, they were exactly where you are now. And they're going to talk to you about their experience. I mean, it's one thing for me to come in here and say, I need you to do this. This is going to be amazing. You're going to transform. You have to do this. It's one thing for me to say it. It's a whole other thing for you to hear it from ladies who have gone. So make sure to be here tomorrow. 1, because I'm going to pick the winners. And 2, so you can hear from my clients. All right, ladies, I'm going to share the link. Sign up. This is the year for you to take action. There is no more time. There is no more time to get ready. Your health is in your hands. I wish I could go into here and grab each single one of you and bring her on board. I can't. I need you to take control of your health, and I'm here to support you and guide you. Thank you once again, ladies. I will see you all again tomorrow night. Good night.